Just when many Democrats were giving up on the state of Florida, it turns out that the Sunshine State is in play because the state Supreme Court has ruled that abortion rights can appear on the ballot, potentially putting the contest in play for Joe Biden and other Democrats down ticket. The authoritarian 6-week abortion ban in Florida is going to take effect in less than a month. That's the bad news. It's going to replace the current 15-week abortion ban in Florida. Now, if you ask me, a 15-week ban, that's bad enough. A 6-week ban, that is absolutely insane, completely draconian, because most women aren't going to even know that they're pregnant 6 weeks into a pregnancy. And if you do find out during that time period, well, then all of a sudden you have a very limited window to make a decision about what you want to do, to make the appointments, and to carry out the procedure. And, we know that so many abortion doctors are going to be reluctant to do this type of procedure, worrying that they're breaking the law. If you're up against that 6-week limit, then maybe they just say, oh no, it's too close, so we're not going to do it at all. That's exactly what Republicans were able to accomplish when it came to this 6-week abortion ban. They're effectively going to outlaw the practice in the state, and now voters have a chance to fight back on it. The state Supreme Court gave the green light to rule that an amendment protecting abortion rights could appear on the ballot in November. If passed, it would overturn Ron DeSantis' abortion bans. So it's back on the ballot. Republicans should be concerned about this because they're losing on this issue, right? It's been a major reason why they haven't had much success in politics over the past few years. It's why there was no red wave in 2022. It's the reason why we're hearing about Democrats winning in places like Kentucky and Alabama. They probably otherwise wouldn't have won those races over the past year or so if not for the overturning of Roe versus Wade. And that's because abortion at this point is essentially a 60-40 issue. An NBC News poll from last year found that 61% of voters disapprove of the U.S. Supreme Court's decision overturning Roe versus Wade. So people may turn out specifically to vote on the abortion issue. That includes Democratic-leaning voters who may have felt disaffected by the state's right-wing trend in recent years. They may go out and vote and say, Trump's probably going to win here. Rick Scott, the senator, is probably going to win re-election here, but at least we can do something right about this abortion issue. So they'll go out to vote for that very reason. And of course, they're also going to vote for the other races on the ticket. So this could conceivably be really, really good for Democrats. And also a bit of good news is that cannabis legalization is going to appear on the Florida ballot. So that is also a driver of potential Democratic votes. And we have to keep in mind that Biden didn't actually lose Florida by all that much in 2020. Looking back at it, we think it was maybe somewhat of a landslide, but he only lost Florida by 3.5 percentage points. So Democrats can still win in Florida. It is, certainly not a foregone conclusion that Republicans are just going to keep winning there. And we know how politics is. There could be a reversal in the trend. Now, this could also help Democrats in numerous House races. Even if Biden doesn't defeat Trump in Florida, if we pick up some House seats because of this, that would be excellent. There's also the Senate race where Rick Scott is only slightly up over his likely challenger, Debbie McCarcel-Powell. So that means that, maybe a few percentage points can be made up with if enough Democratic voters are incentivized to go out and vote based on this abortion issue. So, it wasn't close when it came to the governor's race in Florida in 2022. That is true. Ron DeSantis won by 19 points. That is massive, yes. And they do have super majorities in the House and the Senate in Florida. So I understand how the situation may look bleak, but this could signal a reversing of the course and potentially can bring about a new era where Florida is back in play. Now, one more thing about this, a bit of irony. The whole reason why the abortion issue is going to be on the ballot this year is because of Ron DeSantis and the right-wing legislature backing him up. He wanted to position himself as the most conservative candidate in the Republican field, more conservative than Donald Trump, and he was able to achieve this by signing the 6-week abortion ban into law. Obviously, he didn't win the primary. This didn't work for him. Republicans aren't even all that concerned about policy compared to personality at this point, so that's why Trump was able to win. But how ironic would be if Ron DeSantis' action instituting the 6-week abortion ban is what leads to Donald Trump losing the state of Florida, with the Supreme Court now putting the issue on the ballot directly to the voters and encouraging a whole bunch of left-leaning voters to go out and vote for abortion rights along with Joe Biden. That would just be absolutely hilarious. And also there's the question about how Donald Trump should play this, because during the primary, he said that he was very much against the 6-week abortion ban. He said that it went too far and that it was cruel and had some other choice words for it. He's going to have a difficult position at this point, saying that voters should overturn the ban while at the same time vote for him in the state of Florida. So my sense is he's just going to try to stay out of the issue and not comment on it, but that's increasingly difficult to do, especially when he votes in the state of Florida, and he'll have to make a decision of his own when it comes to this. So Florida is back in play, and we actually, ironically, have the state Supreme Court to thank for it, because now abortion rights as well as cannabis rights are going to appear on the ballot, and that's greatly going to turn out the Democratic vote.